Welcome to Neo Nexus. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated. Today, we turn our focus to a nation of more than 7,000 islands at the heart of a global power struggle, the Philippines. Once a bystander, the Philippines is now a central arena where US and Chinese ambitions collide, making its choices resonate across the Indo-Pacific. For decades it balanced historic US ties with China's economic pull, but the calm waters of diplomacy have grown turbulent. Maritime disputes have erupted into real confrontations, pushing the Philippines to make choices with global consequences. We'll explore how this island nation became indispensable to both superpowers, and how its decisions are shaping the future of the region. Let's begin our journey into why the Philippines matters now, more than ever. The South China Sea is one of the world's most vital maritime highways, a vast expanse of blue that connects continents and cultures. Every day, hundreds of ships, ranging from massive container vessels to small fishing boats, navigate these waters, weaving a complex web of commerce and connection. This sea carries trillions of dollars in trade each year, making it the beating heart of global supply chains. From electronics and clothing to oil and food, goods from all over the world pass through here, fueling economies far beyond Asia. For the Philippines, the South China Sea is not just a trade route, it's a lifeline for millions. Coastal communities depend on its rich fishing grounds for their daily catch, and generations of families have built their lives around these waters. Beneath its waves lie untapped reserves of oil, gas, and minerals like nickel and lithium, resources that are crucial for powering modern technology, from smartphones to electric vehicles. The potential wealth hidden here could transform the future of the Philippines. Much of this natural wealth sits within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, a maritime area recognized by international law. But China's sweeping 9-line claim overlaps it, creating a tense and dangerous dispute. In 2016, the Philippines won a landmark legal victory at The Hague, when an international tribunal ruled in its favor and invalidated China's expansive claims. But China rejected the ruling outright and pressed its claims even harder, sending more ships and increasing its presence in the disputed waters. Over the years, China has built militarized artificial islands, complete with runways, radar systems, and missile batteries. These outposts project power deep into Southeast Asia, creating a strategic chokehold over one of the world's busiest waterways. For the Philippines, this is a direct challenge, not just to its territory and resources, but to its identity as a sovereign maritime nation. The struggle is about more than land or water, it's about the right to determine its own future. The standoff is no longer theoretical, it's a daily reality for Filipino fishermen and sailors, who often find themselves face to face with foreign Coast Guard ships, risking their livelihoods and safety. The stakes are high. Control over resources, national pride, and the ability to provide for future generations all hang in the balance. At the heart of the conflict are the rules that govern the world's seas, international laws meant to ensure peace, stability, and fair access for all. In the South China Sea, global power struggles become deeply personal for the Philippines, shaping the lives of ordinary people and the destiny of a nation. Philippine foreign policy has swung dramatically with each new president. Rodrigo Duterte pivoted to China, downplaying disputes for promised investments and distancing from the US. But most of China's economic promises never materialized, and Chinese vessels continued their assertive activities. The Philippines found itself alienated from its ally, with little to show for its gamble. When Ferdinand Marcos Jr. took office, he initially signaled neutrality, but China's aggression forced a rapid shift. Harassment of Filipino fishermen and dangerous maneuvers at sea made the threat impossible to ignore. Marcos reversed course, steering the Philippines back toward the US alliance and withdrawing from China's Belt and Road Initiative. The lesson was clear. Defending sovereignty required reliable partners, not empty promises. The Philippines learned that it cannot stand alone in the face of growing pressure. Its foreign policy now reflects a pragmatic balance: security with the US, caution with China. In the South China Sea, abstract disputes turn into real danger. Here, international law and national pride collide on the open water, transforming legal arguments into high-stakes confrontations. At Ayungin Shoal, Filipino Marines hold a rusting ship as a symbol of sovereignty, relying on risky resupply missions. Each journey to this isolated outpost is fraught with uncertainty, as crews navigate not just the elements, but the constant threat of foreign interference. China's Coast Guard and maritime militia blockade the area using water cannons, lasers, and ramming tactics to intimidate and harass. These aggressive actions are designed to wear down resistance and assert control without firing a shot. These gray zone tactics escalate tensions without triggering outright war, but the risk of miscalculation is ever present. A single misstep or misunderstanding could quickly spiral into open conflict, drawing in regional and even global powers. Recent confrontations have turned violent, with Chinese personnel boarding Philippine vessels and injuring sailors. The human cost is no longer hypothetical. Lives are at risk, and the consequences are felt by families and communities back home. Each incident is a test of national will, and a reminder of what's at stake for the Philippines and the region. The struggle is not just for territory, but for the right to determine one's own future in a contested sea. President Marcos has drawn a red line. He's made it clear that the death of a Filipino soldier could invoke the U.S. Defense Treaty. This warning raises the stakes, signaling that any escalation could have far-reaching consequences beyond the region. The men and women on these missions are on the front line, where one wrong move could spark a regional crisis. Their courage and restraint are tested daily, as they balance duty with the ever-present risk of confrontation. The world is watching these dangerous waters, aware that what happens here could shape the future of international order and peace in Asia. In response to China's growing assertiveness in the region, the Philippines has taken decisive steps to revitalize its long-standing alliance with the United States, signaling a new era of cooperation and mutual defense. The 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty, once seen as a relic of the Cold War, now explicitly covers attacks on Philippine forces, ships, or aircraft in the South China Sea, reaffirming the U.S. commitment to defend its ally in the face of modern threats. Under President Marcos, defense cooperation has expanded dramatically. The U.S. now has access to additional Philippine military bases, many strategically located near Taiwan and the contested Spratly Islands, enhancing rapid response capabilities and regional presence. Annual Balakatan military exercises have grown larger and more complex, involving thousands of troops and advanced weaponry. These drills now simulate real-world scenarios, such as island defense and amphibious assaults, and feature the deployment of cutting-edge missile systems. These coordinated moves send a clear and unmistakable message to the world. The Philippines is not standing alone in the face of external pressure, but is backed by powerful allies ready to support its sovereignty. In a historic step, the U.S., Japan, and the Philippines have formed a new trilateral partnership, strengthening a coalition of maritime democracies committed to upholding freedom of navigation and the rule of law in the Indo-Pacific. This growing network of alliances acts as a credible deterrent, signaling to Beijing and the world that any act of aggression will be met by a united and coordinated front ready to defend peace and stability. The Philippines is now emerging as a key player in regional security, no longer just a strategic location, but an active contributor to the collective defense of the Indo-Pacific. By deepening ties with its allies and modernizing its armed forces, the Philippines is building the capacity and resilience needed to defend its interests and protect its people. The rebirth of this alliance is not just a diplomatic gesture, it is actively reshaping the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific, ensuring a more secure and stable future for the region. Security with the U.S. is vital, but the Philippines can't ignore its economic ties to China. China remains a top trading partner and a source of investment, making a full break both difficult and undesirable. Manila must balance national security with economic growth, maintaining a functional relationship with Beijing even as tensions rise. The U.S. and Japan have stepped in with the Luzon Corridor project, investing in infrastructure and offering a transparent alternative to Chinese capital. This support gives the Philippines more options and reduces reliance on China. The U.S. is now the Philippines' top export market, providing stability for Filipino industries. By combining security guarantees with economic opportunities, the U.S. and its allies offer a comprehensive partnership. This allows the Philippines to assert its sovereignty while engaging with China on its own terms. The economic tightrope is as crucial as the military one. Facing external threats, the Philippines is transforming its military focus from internal security to territorial defense. The comprehensive archipelagic defense concept reorients the armed forces to protect maritime sovereignty. New assets, frigates, fighter jets, anti-ship missiles, drones, and radar are boosting the country's ability to monitor and defend its waters. The goal isn't to match China ship for ship, but to raise the cost of aggression and deter encroachment. Joint patrols and exercises with the US, Japan, and Australia are building interoperability and experience. This modernization is a declaration of national resolve, signaling that the Philippines is taking charge of its destiny. The country is no longer a passive victim of geopolitics, but an active guardian of its future. Its new defense posture is reshaping its role in the region. The Philippines is becoming a more capable and confident security partner. The Philippines stands at a critical juncture shaping not just its own future but the Indo-Pacific's. Its choices, standing firm, rebuilding alliances and asserting sovereignty, are sending ripples worldwide. The Philippines shows that middle powers have agency and can shape the rules-based order. The ongoing standoff is a test of American resolve and the credibility of alliances in Asia. The world is watching how Manila navigates this high-stakes contest. The Philippines is no longer just a strategic location, it's a key player demanding to be heard. Its struggle is for its own future, and for a world where rules, not might, determine right.